Anderson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Pick it up, inside.
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. So much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Anderson. He's got it on the draw. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Down 300. Down 300. Hey, exit. 58, the mud. 58.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Stay at home. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. From the gun, it's a give to Anderson. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Open man is Quinn. He completes it. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
58,
And his kick here is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Let's go. On the ready.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, seam 6. 22 jet bomber. Ready.
Here's 2nd and 8. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Man left. Hey, 4 down.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Kill.
Here's Anderson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Here we go. 58.
Following the penalty, Anderson. And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 21.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Come on, QB, come on.
On 3rd down, Anderson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
58, come on. Hey, watch the slant. Box it. Hey, 58 is a man. Hey, take 26.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Looking to throw on second down. Brewer got his man complete over the middle. That's Patrick. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 45-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
61, matchbox lights. Let's go.
Looking to throw. Brewer. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. It's complete to Graham. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go. Back to throw. Brewer toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Blue draw quarters.
Right there, 54 Mike. Let's go, D.
2nd and 5. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Let's go now. 10 Lobo.
54. No chance.
General West. Hey, Charlie.
5-4, Mike 5-4.
Mike 5.
From the gun on 3rd down. Brewer toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat.
Jim.
All day, dog.
Yeah, Liz. Hey, where y'all going?
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Equanimous St. Brown. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to drop. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Look at me. Door.
Now a give, right side. Flynn, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Check 50.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
10th carry now for Anderson. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
58.
55, Mike.
I got one.
Back to one. 319.
On first down, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now a first carry for their fullback. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Hey, wahoo! Get it.
To throw on second down. Brewer. And now here is another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
We can't be stopped.
The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
319.
Mike, 58, right there.
Quick inside. 258.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Throw right.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. All day.
1030.
Just
Hey, Delta. X3. 218. Chop it. Plant.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
check. 53 is
Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, box trot. Box trot. Flip it down.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. That one complete to Anderson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this one is right through. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Rodgers now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. Come on. Come on, come on.
Mike 55. Mike 55.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Hard throw, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, echo.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Let's go, Heavy. What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
Let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Looking to throw. Brewer. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rodgers throwing again. That's complete to the former Aggie Jay Sternberger. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. Rodgers now 8 of 17 so far, under 50%.
26.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Bravo.
Now Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On second down now, it's Anderson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 42-yard line.
Box it, box it, box it, box it.
Now Rodgers. And it's complete to Mitchell. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And down inside the 15 he goes. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 14.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Win 18. Hey, check. Back north.
To throw is Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. A 1-yard touchdown reception. Now the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 2nd and 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes...
And now here is another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Rodgers, and he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Rodney Anderson with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The extra point up and good, and the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Brewer. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Everyone, you got 4 down. 24.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Brewer. And that is incomplete. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
158! Hey, eat. Jeff! Let's go. Pick it up, D.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
You got tight. You got 30. Check safety.
Another tote here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. The Packers on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open man is Quinn, able to connect. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards that time.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Packers on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Toss play. This is Anderson. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
No good. He pulled it just a wee bit wide left. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dean Lowry, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. 2nd and long. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, seam 6.
On 1st down, Brewer nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That sack came from the corner. On the corner blitz, it was Josh Jackson.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Looking to throw. Brewer. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. Operating from the gun. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. On 1st and 10. Brewer. Over the middle, complete. That's Flynn. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Down. 8, read.
Mike, 58, right there. Check, 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 check.
Go.
Throwing on first down. Brewer. That is caught at the 7. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Packers, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins,